Serious and Silliness Bodybuilding. This is Anabolic Academy, where you send me questions on bodybuilding, fitness, or whatever you'd like to ask, and I answer them. You can reach me on Instagram, Serious and Silliness, Facebook, John Livia, TikTok, John Livia. My emails, UncleJohn1201 at Gmail, John_Livia at yahoo.com. Now, before we get into it, I'd like to show you, I haven't worn this shirt in a while. This is my Italian Superman shirt. Anyway, another thing is I am starting construction on my basement very soon, probably in the next couple of weeks. And maybe in a couple of months after that, the basement will be done. And I will hopefully be doing the podcast from down there. It should be really nice. It's going to be a little bit more classy instead of just doing it in my man cave. I'm going to try to make it as nice as possible. I don't know. I'll figure out some decor for the background and blah, blah, blah. It should be pretty cool. We'll see what happens. But we got a bunch of questions. We have 5 questions to answer, and I appreciate each and every one of you that watches, that shares, that hits that like button, that subscribes, that comments, and especially the people that send me questions. So without further ado, let's jump into some Anabolic Academy questions. Savage_Sean01 on Instagram asks, how to take CBER. Okay, CBER is also known as cabergoline or Dostinex. I had to look it up. This is a drug you take when you are sensitive to your prolactin levels that go up when you take any 19-nor drug, like a Tren or an NPP or a DECA or something like that, right? I don't seem to have a problem with that as long as I keep my doses moderate, although I don't really use Tren much anymore. But I still do use DECA when I feel my joints are really painful and whatnot, because it really helps. But some guys, their prolactin level goes up and they find it very hard to have a great sex drive. So they use this drug to keep the prolactin level down, the production of it down. So how do you take it? The half-life of CBER is basically, it'll give or take 65 hours, 63 to 69 hours, blah, 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 give or take. So you could take CBER every 3rd day and you'd be fine. And basically the milligram doses that you need, anywhere from 0.25 milligrams to 0.50 milligrams, or 1/4 of a milligram to 1/2 of a milligram. 0.25 is probably what most people need. Only if you're extremely sensitive to your prolactin level increasing during use of a 19-nor drug should you go to 0.50. And the only way you're going to know that is if you use them and if your pee-pee doesn't work or you don't have a very high sex drive, you're not as hungry for love as you normally would be. So then you would take 0.25 milligrams and see how you feel. If there's no effect, then you might go up to 0.50. I would not go past that, okay? If you don't feel anything different after that, which is very odd, well, then I would go some blood work done and see what the hell is going on, because it might be not your prolactin level. But a lot of guys do use this. I don't know if you can get it prescribed or not. I have no idea. I've never had to use it. But it is a very common drug when using a Tren or NPP. Okay, next question. And the next 4 questions is from, you guessed it, Fran is the man, because Fran is the man. First question. In your opinion, what was the highlight and lowlight of the Arnold Classic? Well, I mean, the highlight, these guys came in shape. This was a good Arnold Classic. And what I mean by that is you might not have had like a high elite guys in the lineup with the exception of Hadi and Samson, but the guys who came were not playing around. De La Rosa, Akeem, Rafael Brandao, these guys came in shape and they were ready for war. And that was really impressive. There is nothing better than a bodybuilding show and the top 5 guys are peeled, full, hard. Like James Hollingshead. James Hollingshead is a fan favorite because he has that freak factor. He has this big, deep, hard, grainy muscle. he lacks a little bit of the structure that the other guys do, so it kind of puts him in, the fourth, fifth place. But he came in shape. He's probably the best James Hollingshead. John De La Rosa, probably the best John De La Rosa. Akeem Williams, I don't know what he did in a 24-hour period, but when he came back Saturday night, man, he looked good. He looked great. Those are some highlights. Another highlight was when Nick Walker came out and gave the fifth place medal to James Hollingshead, because he literally stole the show, because he took up the entire fucking stage. He was massive. Another good highlight was the Lifetime Achievement Award to Jay Cutler, because the speech was great. He's just a very humble guy, down to earth, loves being an ambassador of sport, loves to be a person that helps create ambition, helps create aggression, and helps people get better. I mean, he's just a great dude and very down to earth. And I had the honor of interviewing him. You guys could see it. It's in my, on this platform. I did interview him about 2 years ago, and it was just a fantastic interview. We spent most of it on how he made his millions. The first half is how he made his millions. The second half was about bodybuilding, because I figured he's probably sick of talking about, if Victor really beat him or what it was like to compete with Ronnie. But at the same time, I was interested in how he made his millions, because I want to know so I could do it, right? But low light. I said this in my wrap up. The commentating is just god awful. Just god awful. I don't know who Todd Harris is. I don't know where they got him from. It just sounds like he sounds like a 1990s morning show host. Good morning, everybody. Just fake. I can't stand that shit. I don't even know if he knows anything about bodybuilding. He was asking the stupidest questions, like, what are you doing backstage when, you have so much time before you get on stage? Like, shut up, dude. Like, whatever. The bikini girls coming out, the commentating for the bikini girls is terrible, because, the one bikini girl they had, like, doesn't like to pick apart what this one was doing wrong, or that one did wrong, or why this one, but it was everybody looks wonderful, everybody looks great. I think this one's gonna edge it out, but she on a regular day anybody could win this, blah, 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 blah. And it was like so general and so typical of a woman to like try to lift everyone's spirits instead of really saying the truth. Like, that one sucks and that one doesn't. And I don't even know how they judge them. I mean, they all look the same to me. I mean, I just to me, like, the bikini contest, it's just, I know it's a draw, somewhat of a draw, because a lot of girls like this, but to me, it's just like it's just skinny with implants. They all look the same. I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the one that's all fucked up. Anyway, so I'd have to say that. Okay, next question from Fran is the man. Do you think Wesley Vissers will be the face of classic bodybuilding, classic physique, once CBER retires? I don't know. That's tough to say, because people become popular for no good reason. Like, I don't know why CBER is so popular. He's got a personality of a wet mop. His training isn't motivational at all. He's just like going through the motions, very, very, just methodical. You don't watch him. Like, you watch Hadi Chupin train, and he trains like a fucking animal, and you want to get to the gym and train. Or you watch some old school, well, James Hollingshead. You watch James Hollingshead train, and strong as an ox. I mean, that guy is insanely strong. If you haven't seen James Hollingshead go deadlift or squat, go watch it. I've never seen a bodybuilder deadlift that much and squat that much 2 weeks out of a contest. It's unbelievable. And those guys motivate. They want you watch them, you want to get your ass to the gym, right? Where CBER might have no idea. And Wesley Vissers, I don't know. This is the first time Wesley Vissers really, really nailed it. And he proved that it could be it. But can he be consistent as Chris Bumstead? It's one thing you got to give Chris Bumstead. He comes in shape every time. He doesn't miss the mark. Ever, ever. This is the first time Wesley Vissers really hit the mark. Is he going to do the same for the Olympia? We'll see. I don't know. Is being American and speaking very well English and being a guy who kids could look up to, like CBER, is that part of the mix? I don't know. We'll see, right? I think there's no rhyme or reason to who becomes the face. I think it's just who can have this relationship, if you will, for lack of a better term, with the people on social media, with the fans on social media. I think that's what it's going to come down to. You don't necessarily have to be the greatest bodybuilder in order to have a great relationship or a great Instagram following, right? I mean, there's plenty of guys that have a tremendous Instagram following or a tremendous TikTok following or YouTube following, and they're not close to being the best, right? Who's the guy from Canada? Regan Grimes. Grimes, good bodybuilder, not great, tremendous following. I don't know why. No clue. No fucking clue. Maybe because he's young and good looking. I don't know. C-Bum is a mixture of both. Tremendous following. I think he's got 20 million followers or something stupid like that. I don't know. And he wins. He's consistent. He has ambition. He has hard work ethic. And he's also very easy to get along with, easy to speak to. He speaks intelligently. He's the kind of guy that you want your kids to look up to, a family man. He's married, he's having children. He's never in bad press. So I don't know. We'll see. I can't really answer that. The answer is maybe. That's really it. Third question from Fran is the man. Do you think future Mr. Olympia champs will compete at the Arnold with the increase of prize money? I think future Mr. Olympia champs, I think retired Mr. Olympia champs are going to put their invite in. Don't be surprised if people like Big Ramy put their invite in next year, because that's big money. You don't know somebody's financial status behind closed doors. You don't know. You have no idea. But what I can say is when you offer that much money and it's invite only and you have to apply, they're going to have a lot of applications. I will tell you that much. They are going to have a shit ton of applications for next year. Okay, that's inevitable, right? And then they are going to pick and choose. However they pick and choose, I have no idea how they pick and choose. I don't think anybody knows how they pick and choose to be on that stage, And we shall see. Last question from Fran is the man. If Rafael Brandao showed up with hottest condition, would he have won the Arnold? No, because he doesn't have the size. Rafael Brandao's drawback is he doesn't have the size of a Samson Dowda, a Hadi Chopin, a Derek Lunsford. He is always going to be behind them because of his size. His shape, his structure, and his conditioning, well, it's mostly his shape and structure, takes him far because he has a classic physique body in a bodybuilding contest. He has small waist, flaring quads, great V-taper, tremendous shoulders. Every body part is in proportion. But these guys are weighing by 20, 30 pounds. I mean, you put him next to Samson, he looks like a baby compared to him. That doesn't mean that he can't one day close the door on these guys. Guys come out of shape. It happens all the time. Dexter was the same way. Dexter was not a big dude, but Dexter's strength was, they called him the razor or something like that? Yeah, the blade. Sorry, they call him the blade for a reason, which he came diced at every show. He never missed the mark. There was a period of time where people thought he was just getting too old, and then I think he sought out George Farah. They changed some things, and then bang, he was right back to being the Dexter Jackson. And his strength was that he was consistent and consistently conditioned with great structure and just great muscle bellies with a small waist. And when a guy or two came out of shape, he climbed up. That was his bent. And I think Rafael Brandao has that same kind of strength, right? Where it's shape, structure, round muscle bellies, everything's in proportion. He comes in condition. And then if he shows up and you're a little bit off, he's going to close the door behind you. But it's bodybuilding for a reason. The guys that have the size and the shape and the structure and the conditioning, they're going to surpass him. Like the Nick Walkers, like the Hotties, like the Derricks, like the Samsons, like the Brandons. That's just the way the game is. It's bodybuilding. The biggest, baddest, hardest, roundest bodybuilder wins with great structure. And that's it. That's all I have to say for tonight, because I only had 5 questions, but 5 quality questions. So thank you guys for sending me those questions. And remember, like, share, subscribe, and tune into Muscle Talk, because we're going to be talking about the Arnold Classic that just happened, and we will be talking about the Arnold Classic UK coming up. All right, guys, listen, have a good evening, and I'll talk to you soon. Later. Peace.